Hello and welcome to the Flixters podcast, the place where two movie geeks bring you all the movie reviews and news you could ever want in your lifetime. You can download our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Castbox and Anchor. Just pop in the Flixters podcast. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. And again, just pop in the Flixters podcast. We'll see you there.
I was also
reviews.
But you know what? Also, I had a quick look at the movie news.
Yeah.
Poacher forced to watch.
Yeah. That's news, man.
Can't wait for that one. All right, okay. All right, here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Let's lock and load. All right, okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very, very special edition of The Flixters. We are coming out of our studio home in London, not live, because you'll probably download this in the next few days. By the time you listen to this, it'll already have been Christmas.
Maybe.
So, Merry Christmas to you all and a fantastic New Year. But listen, Duval, what has been going on this past week? Because you know what, we got so much stuff to get through. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah,
right?
it is. I just want to. Yeah, you're totally right to say Merry Christmas because literally, you got to think ahead as you always do.
Yeah,
so Merry Christmas to everyone out there. If you're chowing down on your turkey, if you're actually cooking your turkey and your Christmas dinner while you're listening to us,
that's even better.
You know what? We feel privileged to be in your kitchen at a time of such importance.
Stuff that turkey.
You know, stuff it. Stuff it. But yeah, Merry Christmas everyone, and hope you enjoy your family time.
Yeah.
And we are part of your family and you're part of ours.
Exactly.
Yes, so first things first, mail outs. I was going to go into a little biggie there, but I thought, no.
Do it. I was waiting for the
first. Proper freaks all the no. Okay, so yeah, mail outs and shout outs. So every week we shout out people who give us a mention on Instagram, Facebook or whatever. This week, first shout out is Shane.
Yes.
Shane is actually. I didn't realize. I'm gonna like full disclosure here. Shane was one of my first friends at my primary school.
What?
Yeah, first friends at my primary school.
Oh gosh.
This guy he's old school. He's old school.
Yeah. Wicked.
So Shane's a cool guy. I didn't realize he's such a movie nerd or geek.
Yeah.
And he was giving us some recommendations actually, because I think we posted something about, maybe was it the Human Centipede, or we posted something
on Facebook.
Yeah, on Facebook, and he shouted out back saying how the Human Centipede is sick and part 2 is really sick, but there's sicker films out there.
Yeah,
and I was like, what?
And he names them like Serbian movies.
Yeah,
and stuff.
which I heard is sick.
Yeah, and he was like, look, don't worry about all that stuff, but you know what, they're sick, but there's worse films out there. So that was quite funny.
I didn't know he was so sick. Maybe that's why we got on, because we're both sick. So Shane, I know you listen to the show. Thank you for listening and for your input as well. Next one goes out to Murray, who I mentioned actually a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, you did.
And Murray does actually. He's like our little birdie. Little birdies. Yeah, he actually retweets and re-forwards. I don't know what you call it on Facebook. Rebooks.
Shares.
That's, do you know what? Obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, he reshares all our posts, and he actually even this past week he got us some new followers on Twitter actually.
Oh man.
So yeah, so big shout out to Murray. He actually confessed he hasn't listened to the show. He's more of a visual contributor.
Oh right, okay. So the posts.
Yes, he likes to post. They keep him up to date.
You know what, Murray, if you can, download at least one episode and tell us what you think. All right. Actually, you know what? Download this episode.
You know what? Knowing him, he won't.
He won't, right? Okay.
He won't. With him, you get what you get. That's it.
All right. Okay.
Next, Morpheus K.
This name, man.
Morpheus K.
Seriously, come on, man.
Yes,
what a name.
Morpheus K. He goes by many names, but one of his most gangster names is Morpheus K. He actually. I think he saw. What did he see? He saw Aquaman actually.
Oh right, okay.
And he put in a lot of feedback in on our Instagram saying like, "What's going on, guys? Have you seen Aquaman yet? By the way,
yes,
you haven't. Obviously, of course you have.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, guys, what's going on? Why is it that?" Okay, little spoiler. It's not a massive spoiler. It's a little one. But why is it when Aquaman's underwater, he has to go in those little like underwater cars
because
that go so slow when he can swim faster.
Yeah,
and I was like, it's true actually.
It's true,
Why?
isn't
Maybe
it?
he's
Why do
lazy,
they have
I
those
don't know.
little like water pods, like
Yeah,
whatever they are?
I think they look aesthetically pleasing on the eye in a movie sense.
Yeah.
But I guess
I think it's probably a practical thing as well. Like with the whole CGI, they're in some sort of pod, and then they can draw the CGI, the graphics. Like
maybe.
To paraphrase you, the graphics on afterwards.
Maybe, but yeah.
But you know what, Morpheus, good point.
He put a big chunk of feedback.
that.
Like, it was so chunky. I was like, whoa, this guy is not messing around.
Yeah.
Next one goes out to Mike Bellamy.
Okay, Mike Bellamy.
Mike Bellamy is a new contributor on Instagram.
I love them.
He responded to a Dark Knight Instagram post that we put out during the week.
Love it even more.
Instagram, because Dark Knight last week was 10-year anniversary.
Yes.
Great film.
Wicked.
Still stands the test of time.
Yeah.
Mike Bellamy put the post on our Instagram saying, I don't know why everyone likes this film. Why is it so it's not that good? Not in that voice, but basically
that's the way it probably comes across as. Yeah.
He's thinking like, why is everyone talking about Dark Knight?
Such a big deal. Yeah.
What's a big deal?
Yeah.
I just said to him, well, what is it that you don't understand?
Yeah.
This is why I think it's good. I've not heard back, but you know what? It's good to get contrasting views.
Yeah,
not everyone's got to agree, which I respect Mike for.
Yeah, and that is filmmaking.
Yeah.
It brings out a response in people which you either love things, you hate things, you're meh. So in this case, for The Dark Knight, I mean, I've got to say, Mike's wrong, but Mike, we love it. We love the fact that you got in touch with us. You actually took the time out to write those words. That means a lot to us.
Yeah, of course, definitely. And one person who definitely disagrees with Mike, but obviously everyone's free to the expression, is Ambla Ujla. And I hope I'm saying her name correctly.
Okay.
Ambla Ujla. She posted, again, responding to Dark Knight, saying how this is one of my favourite films.
Yeah.
So Ambla Ujla, we're with you on that one.
Exactly.
Dark Knight is heavy, wicked film. And we're glad that you contributed on Instagram and you loved it as well.
Yeah. Also, just to add to that, there is a new I think the Dark Knight trilogy, has that just been released on 4K?
Yeah. It has. Yeah.
I mean, if you want to just watch it again, but this time on 4K, I think in terms of like viewing pleasure, that is the best experience, right?
I don't think you can get
I mean, unless you watch them all in IMAX.
I was going to say, because just as you mentioned that, actually, another trilogy has come out in 4K. And for my own personal opinion, I think it's the best trilogy ever made in cinema.
It's going to be the...
Cap, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's out in 4K, so that's just me.
Yeah, okay.
That's just me.
6 films that you go out... I mean, let us know what you think. Go watch them.
Exactly. And then we have Paul Phoenix,
yes,
who always wins.
Our very own Paul.
Yes, he posted. What did he post? Was it on Instagram as well? I think it may have been Instagram.
Yeah.
I think he was responding to. Was he responding to the Human Centipede or was it Dark Knight? He was responding to something.
He was responding to one of those things, but also it's like the thing with Paul is whenever he sees something funny or he's a big film buff as well.
Yeah.
So
massive,
he loves his old school films, and I think with the horror stuff, I think it was the Monkey Shines thing that he got involved with that as well. But I think with the Dark Knight, no, actually he said something really, really kind of silly the other day, which was he hasn't seen Avengers.
What?
Yeah, I think there was something where he hadn't seen Avengers. Yeah, exactly. That was the only thing that kind of let me down with Paul.
He needs to fix up, look sharp.
Exactly, Paul, if you're listening.
Exactly. But yeah, he responded to it was the Human Centipede, and it was to the house that Jack built.
Right, that was it.
That's what he was responding to.
Yeah.
So you can tell he's got a bit of a sick
tendency as well.
Yeah, he's kind of sick as well.
He loves them. Yeah. I know, by the way, the house that Jack built, ladies and gentlemen, remember, it's not a film about house building.
Well, have you seen it as well now?
No, I haven't.
Okay, do you know what?
Well,
I'm going to put one caveat on that without spoiling. There is something
where they're built into the house. Yeah,
I'm not going to say anything. I just
knew it. It's the image.
I'm not going to say anything.
It's the image that I just kind of like can just imagine picture. Because you know what? That is someone else did that in real life. Was it Fred West who cemented the people into the walls or someone?
Well, the house that Jack built does it on another level. Yeah.
Shit.
So whatever you're thinking, it's more than that.
Okay.
Honestly.
And
last shout out goes out to AL Media.
Yeah.
Who we've shouted out before. AL Media production company who do some really good work.
Yes.
I think commercial as well as private work as well. So if you guys are interested in any commercial work, if you own a company, you work for a company, and you want that company to have some really good visual products or media products or even sound products,
they're the people to go to.
AL Media are the cats to go to. So Abby from AL Media shouted us out on our Instagram, as he does quite often actually. So I always, want to shout out back.
Of course.
And actually was privileged enough to go down and see their team actually. I went down to Margate last week, which is in the west coast of England for international listeners.
Yes.
And by the seaside, and we went on a escape room sort of thingy.
Like one of those events, like escape room event.
Escape room challenge.
That was it. And funny thing is, I did one when I went to Manchester.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There you go.
It was fantastic. It was really
Talking
good.
about escape rooms, there's a film called Escape Room coming out.
Yes.
I think in January, which actually looks quite good.
Yeah.
So
we'll definitely watch that one.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, those are the shout outs. So next we're going on to the
movie news. And like with movie news, stuff comes in and out, and sometimes we kind of think, is that newsworthy? Shall we kind of like save that for another episode, and maybe we just delete it? But all this stuff that we've chosen over here, this is all brilliant stuff. Now, tell us about. There's so much stuff here about Troll Hunter and Autopsy and Jane Doe. Right? What you just tell me what's going on over here?
What's going on? So Guillermo del Toro. Guillermo del Toro. As we all know, from Pan's Labyrinth up to Pacific Rim, Shape of Water
recently,
Hellboy.
Yes.
I mean, this guy, I don't think he...
Visionary.
He's a visionary. He's a really good filmmaker. But one thing struck me with him, I think if you're going to work with Guillermo del Toro... If you work in lighting, then you're not going to have much of a job
because it's all dark.
It's all dark.
I
wouldn't mind seeing his take on like a DC type property, like a moody kind of Batman. You can see him doing a really moody Batman.
And I bet you, like these visionary directors, like your Del Toros and your Alfonso Cuarón and all these guys, right? I bet you they have had these discussions.
Oh yeah.
And whether or not they, how far along the line they've got to be in the actual director. Yeah. But I'm sure they're all up there.
Oh yeah. I know, yeah.
On a list. They're on a list somewhere.
Right. I think you're right. Yeah. But so on that, so he's scary movies, basically scary stories to tell in the dark. It's coming out basically next year, and it's a film about teenagers who have basically it's like a coming of age type situation where they have to face a deadly force together. And I think this story has been told in the past. It's a story that I think some people will have had some sort of understanding or seen a short about it, or I think there's a TV series has been out in the past. But basically, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark has landed the director of Troll Hunter and The Autopsy of Jane Doe. And that director's name is André Orendal.
Right, okay.
Have I said that right? I think it's Danish or Scandinavian somewhere.
Yeah.
But so if you've seen those films, Autopsy of Jane Doe, Troll Hunter, I love Troll Hunter.
I remember you speaking about it, yeah.
Yeah, so if these two people, André Orendal and Guillermo del Toro, are coming together, it's going to be fireworks.
They're going to bring us something special. They're going to bring us something special, right?
Definitely.
And any news on when we're seeing Hellboy?
Yes, well, the trailer came out this week, actually.
Yeah.
So it's the April 2019.
Right, okay.
I'm not sure what day in April, but it's April. April's going to be a packed one.
It is.
April, I think, will start with... I think it starts with Hellboy, of like big films. And then I think also it's got Shazam. And then the end of April is the big one.
Yeah.
It's the Endgame.
It's the Endgame.
Yeah, so April's going to be...
March, really.
Well, yeah. March,
March, April,
Captain,
May.
Captain Marvel, yeah.
I mean, those 3 months, lock it down.
Within the first 6 months of next year, guys, I'm telling you this,
Massive movies.
Shit is going to go down.
Yeah.
I even mentioned Game of Thrones, so
exactly.
Exactly.
Okay, exactly that. You just mentioned Shazam. Isn't it weird how, isn't that a bit quiet or what? Are we not, what reshoots? Is something wrong?
No, nothing's wrong from what I've heard.
Should it be kind of like more in our faces?
No, I think it's a good thing. That means that the work is being done.
Yeah.
The more I think we hear and reshoots or whatever, I think there's problems maybe happening, like what we hear with X-Men, Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix, yeah.
I think there may be some reshoots happening, but nothing major from what I understand. I think the film is pretty much a done deal.
Yeah. Now, we've mentioned on the show about Black Widow and Scarlett Johansson, our friend Scarlett, your friend Scarlett.
Yep.
And we said that, look, Marvel, they've greenlit the film. It's all going to be made. It's going to be done. It's going to be a massive film. But tell us about behind the scenes. Who have they recruited to bring this vision to the screen?
Yeah, so they've recruited
There he goes again. Mission.
I knew it was going to happen today.
Sean Connery.
Mission. Did I say it right? Mission Impossible.
Yes.
Fallout director of photography or cinematographer, basically the person who is responsible for the visual look of the film.
And that Fallout was brilliant. It looked fantastic.
Yeah. So Rob Hardy, his name is.
Okay.
And writer Jack Schaefer. So they have been recruited to, I guess, the process of making sure this film is as good as possible.
Yes.
And, bring in people that have, the credence, the respect and the experience, like proven experience as well, because the last Mission Impossible was the biggest box office opening of the franchise.
Hit, and it looks stunning.
Exactly. So, and if we're talking about, an espionage type, movie that Black Widow is going to be, Schaefer's written an espionage type movie in
totally.
Mission Impossible. So it looks like it's in the right hands. It's all coming together. So I'm pretty confident about that one.
Now, last week you would have heard us speak about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and on this show we loved it.
Yeah.
We thought it was brilliant. And you know what? There was elements of that film, and because I don't even want to say animation. I just think of it as just like a film.
Yeah.
It was just visually amazing. It had heart. It had like everything that you want from a superhero movie. Introduces a new character. And there's kind of a little kind of a spin-off thing going on over here now. Tell us about this, Deval.
Yeah, so the Spider-Verse gates are open.
Yeah.
The floodgates are open and they can all spill through, But the big news is that there supposedly is going to be a all-female Spider-Verse spin-off created from this. And that includes, or should include, Jessica Drew as Spider-Woman.
Right.
Spider-Gwen.
Which we saw,
yeah, that's right. And Cindy Moon, who plays Silk.
Right.
So these are all different iterations of the Spider character.
Sure.
They'll all come from different universes, have slightly different backgrounds.
Yeah.
Slightly different powers as well. But they all are unified in that they all have the Spider, person sort of story, I guess, and are going to have villains that they're going to fight and so on. But I guess it'd be interesting to see, because we saw I think there were two female characters in Spider-Verse. So we had Spider-Gwen, and then we had the Japanese,
the feature from the 2099 or something like that.
But she, I guess it's hard to say, because she didn't have powers, did she?
She controlled
in the robot.
In the robot.
Yeah, so it was like the robot was intelligent, and the robot the spider was intelligent, and it could interact with the robot kind of thing. So it'd be interesting to see, some all female leads come together. And I think, you know what, female, male, whatever, but just the characters, I like to see how they play out. But I think they will be good, because Spider-Gwen, I think she was one of the best characters.
She was brilliant.
Her and the pig one.
Yeah.
I really liked. And Noir as well. And the Noir one I liked as well.
That was brilliant. That was Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's always been, like, he apparently is like a huge comic book fan.
Massive. He's going to be Superman, do you remember?
I know.
Have you seen those pictures?
Oh, man, it's so weird.
I'm so glad it didn't happen.
Yeah, it didn't happen, exactly. But, so, it's good to see that. And also connected to this whole universe, tell us about the Sinister Six.
Sinister Six.
Yes.
So big producer from Sony, Sony Productions, has said that Sinister Six is still in the works.
Yeah.
It wasn't revealed how far down in the works, but the way they opened it up, or I guess they hinted on it at the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2, I think they felt that, you know what, this is a property that we don't want to see just, brushed aside.
Yeah.
Because Sinister Six are a group of, they all basically they come together.
Yeah.
First of all, so should we go through them? So
Go
we got.
do it.
I hope I can remember them
Do it,
actually.
yeah.
So we got So Spider-Man's their enemy.
Yeah.
So we got Rhino.
Right.
We got Doc Ock.
Yep. Which we've seen a few times.
Yeah, exactly. We got what's his name? We're gonna see him in Homecoming. The one with the fishbowl on his head. Mysterio.
Mysterio. Yeah.
We got Scorpio.
Right. Wow.
That's 4, isn't it? I'm missing 2. Who's the other 2? Okay, then we got.
Who was Paul Giamatti at the end?
He was Rhino.
That was Rhino, right? Yeah. And
then I think we have the Hobgoblin. I think he may be one of them.
Right. Okay.
I believe.
And then who was the one who disappears?
Which one disappears?
Do you remember in the prison cell? And then he's there, and then
Electro. Sorry, Electro is one of them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that was him,
right?
But yeah, Electro is one of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Electro is one of them. So we have 6 villains.
Yeah.
And they can interchange. Sometimes they're not always the same ones. Like the ones I mentioned, it may be someone different.
Yeah.
But basically, these 6 enemies, they come together with a unified purpose of destroying
Just
Spider-Man.
trying to take out
It's not
Spider-Man.
fair though. That's not good odds.
6
against 1. But that's where
Mm.
Spider-Man needs his friends.
He needs someone like what about what's
Definitely,
his name?
he might have to call Iron Man to help him.
What about
Shuri.
No, I was thinking who's the one on the flipping on the motorbike, the fire.
Ghost Rider.
What about Ghost Rider?
That's the next level, man.
Imagine that.
Well, it will. I think
Bringing it back to Nick Cage.
it will. Yeah, it will look interesting because they're very 2 different characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ghost Rider's a next level. He can deal with them all by himself.
Exactly.
He's
Yeah.
like in the Marvel comics, Ghost
He's
Rider
mad.
is mad powerful.
Yeah.
Like he's just another level of power.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah.
Oh, well, who owns that one then? That's not
That's
Sony as well, is it?
Oh, I don't know. Actually, good question. I think
Okay.
it's Paramount or something. I don't know.
All right.
But yeah, Nicolas Cage. He's actually got a tattoo of Ghost Rider on his
Yeah,
leg.
I know. He loves that. He
yeah.
loves it all, man. This guy.
Johnny Blaze.
Now, let's go a bit darker now. Let's go back to...
I'm going to darken the tone with the next few bits of news
Exactly.
here.
Now, were you a fan of parts 1 and 2? I won't reveal the name just yet, but parts 1 and 2 of this next film that we're talking
Am I
about.
supposed to know? Okay, sorry.
Oh, yeah, I'm asking.
I got so wrapped up in your don't review. I was like, what can I say? What can I say? I was a big fan, basically.
Yeah,
big fan.
These films, they basically came out of nowhere, and it was when I saw the trailer for them, I thought, oh, this is things that we've seen before. But then when I started reading into it, it's about based on true stories.
Yeah.
You know, a real life couple, they go out and they investigate hauntings, they investigate, you know, possessions and things like that. So Conjuring Part 1, that was a massive hit. Then we had this whole Conjuring universe. We had Annabelle Creations, Conjuring 2, and now Duval.
And The Nun as well.
Oh, The Nun.
Yeah.
All right, that is probably the misstep.
Yeah.
For me, that's probably the misstep in that whole universe. But what would you say now? What's coming out?
Now we have The Conjuring 3.
Right, and
yes.
Is it coming out or is it stopped filming? What's going on?
I believe it's in the production process.
Right, okay.
They haven't wrapped it or anything like that, but it's happening, and
Right.
it's just, I mean, James Wan, and they just keep giving us these gems.
Yeah.
You know, like you said before, but yeah, I mean, so part 1 of The Conjuring was Eden Lorraine Warren, is that their
Yes,
name?
that's it. Yeah,
so
the
it
Warrens,
was about the Amityville, was it? I think haunting or something like that. Basically,
Yeah.
a haunted house. That was a true story. That's what they say.
Yeah.
Second one was about the Enfield haunting, which is
Good old Blighty.
exactly close to where we live, literally
Yeah.
not far up the road.
Yeah, down
I'm
the
actually
road.
going to. I'm not going. It's funny. I'm going close to Edmonton to Enfield today.
Yeah, dope, man.
I'm gonna be careful not to go. Is it Green Street or something?
Yeah.
I'm staying away.
Stay away, man.
And the third one is going to be around a murder trial plot. So it's gonna basically be about. The trial is going to be about a priest and some other people
Right.
who are being accused of using an exorcism to, I guess, exorcise someone, and
Yeah.
obviously that person maybe has died or something. But you know, it's going to be similar to maybe the haunting of Emily Rose.
Emily Rose, yeah.
which I think is a really
good
scary,
film, yeah.
film, and I won't watch it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's gonna feature true life story of a person called what's his name? Is it David Getzel?
Right. Okay.
I believe David Getzel, and Basically, yeah. So in the 80s, somewhere in the 80s, basically, this person was supposed to have killed people, and the trial was made to be called in the media "The Devil Made Me Do It" case, because he was saying that the devil made him do it, and it's like he's basically saying that he was basically he said the spirit was in a little girl. And the spirit left the little girl, came into him, and made him kill people.
It's just
it's just
sinister.
Yeah. So I got the name wrong. The name of the person that the trial's going to be about is Arnie Cheyenne.
Oh right, okay.
Arnie Cheyenne Johnson, 1981. It was that he was charged with first-degree manslaughter for stabbing his landlord Alan Bono. So yeah, it's real life stuff here.
Yeah, man.
And this is 1981, and in the case they said it was called "The Devil Made Me Do It." That's what he was saying. So whether the media, society see it as bullshit, it's him making an excuse.
It's
That's
just
what
some
he
crazy
said.
guy. Yeah,
Exactly. Until it can be proved totally false.
Yeah.
Even if there's 1% truth in it.
Yeah.
It's still some truth.
Exactly.
So that's all I'm going to say on the matter. But I'm really confident this is going to be a really good film.
Yeah.
The Conjuring 3.
I think the Conjuring films, they have something about them.
Yeah.
With the music and the slow camera movements. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be something to look forward to. Right. Okay. Now you've spoken about Us before. So this is Jordan Peele's. Is it produced or directed?
Directed, and I think written as well.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is his next kind of production, and it's already gaining a lot of buzz.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And midweek, I saw some sort of on-set photos of Lupita Nyong'o, my future wife.
Yes.
And she looks bloodied and battered and ready to whoop someone's ass because someone's done something to her.
Yeah.
So it looks like this film is going to be unleashing some madness
Fury.
in the place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Also, there's an image of 4 people kind of dressed in like cloaks, these mysterious cloaks in the woods.
Right.
And these cloaks are red, like all red cloaks, looking really cultish almost.
Yes.
And one of them is I think a child, and the child has a mask on.
Which is creepy. Like, you can't get how much more creepy.
Come on,
Imagine
man.
that. You're in the woods, a child and a cloak. And
Exactly.
it's got a mask on.
The whole family are involved.
Gosh.
The whole family. So
forget about it.
We said this is called Us. It's going to be about some sort of event where you go there and uninvited guests turn up. I'm not sure exactly what more is going to be happening apart from that.
Yeah.
But all I know is it's looking like a bloody mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wicked.
So it's going to be Lupita
this.
Nyong'o is going to be in it. Wilson Duke, both in Black Panther.
Yeah.
Along with some other really good stars as well, are going to be in this one. So I'm looking forward to this one.
Defo.
Out in February, from what I understand.
Yeah.
February 2019.
Not too long.
Exactly. Annabelle as well. Just want to mention has wrapped filming.
Right. Okay.
So that one is finished. That one is going to be coming out in June 2019.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so it's wrapped. And again, this one looks at the story of the Annabelle doll, but when it first entered into Lorraine and what's his name? The Warrens. The Warrens house,
household.
basically. Yeah. So
because the doll's been there now throughout.
Yeah. But it looks like when it first came there. So they're going to be coming back into it. So Ed and Lorraine Warren, played by Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga.
Yeah, exactly. And we saw Patrick Wilson just recently
in Aquaman.
Aquaman.
Exactly.
So that's the whole James Wan connection.
Yeah. And talking really quickly about Aquaman, actually, I found out during the week that there's some Easter eggs in there. The Annabelle doll is in a scene in the back.
You're kidding me. Oh my god.
Annabelle doll is in a scene at the back.
And there was something about an octobus playing the drums. Why is that an Easter egg?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Okay.
I don't know about that. But
I read about it. Oh,
and also the pilot. There's a scene when this is in the trailer, so it's not spoiler. There's a scene when Aquaman and Mira, they're in the desert and they jump out.
Yeah,
she jumps out first, and he's like, "She hasn't got a parachute."
And he goes, "Redheads."
Like, exactly.
Yeah, I love redheads.
Do you know who the pilot was?
What?
Oh my gosh. Okay, James Wan. What was he first famous for?
Fast and the Furious.
No, way before then.
What? No, what? Tell me, I don't know.
Saw.
What? Oh my
James
God.
Wan and Lee Winnell both co-wrote and produced Saw together.
Yeah.
2003 this came out.
That was him.
You know the guy that was in the room in Saw.
Yeah.
There was 2 men in the room. There was the doctor guy and there was the other guy.
That's the other guy.
That's the other guy.
Oh my
Co-producer
gosh.
of Saw, who's also worked with James Wan on Sinister and a lot of other films as well.
Wow, man.
So yeah, the connection's there, man. He's bringing all these people
bringing
in.
all these people
He's
in.
bringing them all in.
Exactly.
So yeah.
All right. So what else have we got?
So next we have Joe Hill. Joe Hill, does that name ring a bell?
Joe Hill.
Joe Hill.
I know Jonah Hill. Joe Hill.
I like it. Joe Hill actually has changed his name.
What?
He is the son of Stephen King.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, so whether is that Stephen King's actual real name, maybe his name's Stephen Hill. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
who knows?
Anyway, Joe Hill is also an author. Exactly. Apple doesn't fall very far from the tree.
Exactly. But I guess that's a lot of pressure, though, man.
Yeah,
If you're say you're Joe King, like, just say for example, and you're like, oh hey, like my dad Stephen King, it's like there's a lot of pressure on you, isn't there?
Exactly. So he's actually an author. He's bringing out his own material, and he wants to do it in his own way. Get his own
Totally.
Have his own weight behind it.
Yeah.
Basically carve out his own career without having to rely on his father, which is respectable because, like you said,
and Joe Hill.
Exactly. No one will know, but so there's a project that he's working on. And it stars Zachary Quinto, who we know from Star Trek and Lost. Not Lost, sorry, Heroes. Yeah. It reveals him as a soul-sucking monster. And the project's name.
Yeah, give me.
It's a bit of a code here, but this is what it's called. It's not me being funny.
Yeah.
But I'll spell it out to the listeners. It's NOS4A2.
What the hell?
And together, that spells Nosferatu.
That's a wicked one. That is brilliant.
Nosferatu.
That is wicked. Oh gosh.
Yeah, so NOS4A2, Nosferatu, who, for the movie geeks out there, will know that was one of the first sort of vampire iterations out there, isn't it? German, I think, 1922, I believe it was.
Yeah, and there was like the film. I think the film's called Nosferatu. It's like a silent movie.
Yeah.
And the makeup on that thing, wicked.
Yeah, exactly. So the premise is Zachary Quinto's character is a soul-sucking monster who literally, to survive, he sucks
souls.
the souls of children.
Oh man.
Yeah, and he's going to be up against a female character who has powers to basically stop him.
Yeah.
And he sees her as his sort of blocker, the person that's going to challenge him to take over, not the world, but do his, just basically do his thing and survive.
Yeah.
She's got to stop him. She has a power of opening realms into different universes.
This already sounds good, man.
Yeah, it's mad. So I don't know how this is all going to come together.
Yeah.
But from what I hear, it's out next year.
Oh man, this is going to be good.
So it's a weird one. It's monsters, it's universes, it's dimensions, it's Nosferatu. It's crazy, but yeah, look out for that one.
All right, okay, now let's bring it back to comic book territory.
Yep.
What do we have in terms of DC?
So DC are looking to let's just say this is in the works. And DC, sometimes they say this and nothing happens. Yeah. This is DC we're talking about. Yeah. So DC sometimes just don't. I'm trying to make a little word out of don't show, don't do, don't. What's DC? Don't create. They don't create.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically they're looking to. They've said they're going to try and produce the Plastic Man. Plastic Man, basically like Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Can stretch.
Yeah, but hang on. Here's a question: who came first?
Well, this iteration came first. This one came first. This was around before DC Comics was created. So originally, Plastic Man was created in Quality Comics,
right? Okay,
which was before DC Comics was created, which I think was in the 40s or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think this could be a 30s production.
Wow.
30s.
This character's been around for a while.
Stretching.
Yeah.
His powers. So his name is Patrick O'Brien. Patrick O'Brien, and his powers are stretching.
This is funny.
So he can stretch. He's invulnerable to certain attacks.
Yeah.
From what I also see as well, I don't know how this is going to come out, but he's meant to be immortal.
Right. Okay.
I don't know if it means because his DNA or molecules stretch so much.
Yeah.
He can always keep them young. I don't know. He can shapeshift.
And what about the character that we saw on the Flash just recently on the?
Oh, that's Ralph Digby.
Yeah,
he's
Ralph
the
Digby.
elongated
Oh
man.
right, he's the elongated. Yeah, God.
They're the same thing.
It's the same thing, right? But
just
the name is just different,
Yeah, different
right? Okay.
characters. And I think probably they might have slightly different powers.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's called the elongated man, which is the
I
same
mean,
thing.
just like trying to get that word out, elongated.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh
exactly.
shit, stretchy man.
I wouldn't mind having some of those powers, you know.
I know.
'cause certain
I love
times
you
you might
to
want
like,
to
yeah,
make something stretch
and
for
just
convenience,
go on for miles.
You know, that'll fix long distance relationships, wouldn't it? Imagine just walking down the street, you get some
I'd be like,
long wood just stretch past you, like, what are you doing?
Where do you come from? I'm here.
Okay, so next we have
Yes. Now we've spoken about this TV show.
Yeah.
And you know what? This is taking a Star Wars kind
Property.
of property and taking it out into the TV universe, if you want to call it that. And Jean Favreau has been attached to this, and we've said that Martel
Pedro Pascal, is that his name?
Pedro
I
Pascal.
kept forgetting.
Pedro.
Sorry, Pedro. Lo
Sorry,
siento,
Lo siento, Pedro. So Pedro Pascal's involved in this. John Favreau. We're talking about the Mandalorians. It's going to come to the small screen. But tell us about it. What's happening?
Yes, it's coming to the small screen, but in a very, very big way. Make no mistake, Monsieur, Senor. Yeah, so the Mandalorian, basically, they're saying that the series may contain Sabine Wren. She was in the animation, Star Wars Rebels, which is really good. I think if anyone's interested in Star Wars, Attack of the Clones, the Clone Wars, I think it was a Clone Wars movie, animation, then Clone Wars series,
Right.
and then Rebels. Really good.
Yeah, you mentioned
better
it.
than some of the films, I'd say.
Okay.
Really good.
Yeah.
But Sabine Wren is a big character in the Rebels Star Wars show, and she's a Mandalorian.
Okay.
She walks around with Mandalorian armor, similar to what what's his name, Boba Fett.
Boba Fett, yeah.
Boba Fett walks around in Mandalorian armor. So there's some people are saying we might get a bit of Boba Fett or a bit of Boba. I'm not sure which Boba is going to be.
Yeah.
Boba, whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe in the Mandalorian series, but Sabine Wren is gangster.
Right.
She's like Black Widow, Valkyrie. Who else is there? All the badass sort of female characters that you can think of in like Marvel and stuff like that. She's like that.
Rolled into
Doesn't
one.
mess around. Yeah.
Wicked.
Really powerful character. And also another bit of news on that is that they've recruited the Black Panther composer Ludwig Göransson.
Right.
Gangster.
And yeah, you mentioned the score on some of the stuff that he's done before.
Gangster. He's like. Yeah, if that's happening, you won't only just see something great, you're going to hear it too.
Something great. And I'm so glad you mentioned that, because you know what, the background music is so often forgotten in stuff, because you just think, it's all visuals. But for me, man,
you know what?
Background music is
it makes
a
it
lot.
Makes it, guys out there listening. Do one thing. The next time you watch a film, first of all, you watch a horror film, mute it. You'll find you aren't scared at all.
Yeah, you ain't
scared of nothing. It's the music that scares you.
Yeah.
If you mute an action film, it's just nothing. It's like the sound is what one of your five senses. Obviously, I've got six senses, but one of your five senses. You just take away one of them and you lose everything.
That's it.
You know, so
we want appreciate more the music.
Yeah,
suckers. Right. Okay. So now. Benicio del Toro. Where was the last time we saw Benicio del Toro?
Sicario 2. Sicario 2.
Sicario 2.
Yeah.
And
obviously
he had a really small part in
Infinity War.
Now, what's going on with him?
So on a much lighter note,
yes,
Dora the Explorer.
I still haven't seen this, you know.
What, the cartoon, you mean?
Yeah.
Why should you?
No, I mean, like, you know.
Well, you're going to be watching it soon.
Exactly. Because I know that kids love this stuff. Love this stuff.
They love it. She's a Latina sort of explorer. She goes out and, explores the world and stuff and teaches kids stuff. Basically, they're creating a film version of this. And Benicio del Toro is going to voice Swiper the fox.
Right. I don't know who that is or what it is.
I don't know what it is, but Del Toro is he's got a bit of a cunning voice, innit? His voice has always been a bit like kind of thing. I can imagine him being a really good fox. Also, Michael Pena. That's his name, isn't it? Michael
Michael
Pena.
Pena.
He's going to be in it, and Eva Longoria is also going to be in it as well.
We haven't seen her in
a while.
In a while, yeah.
So these are all Latino characters that are going to be in Dora the Explorer. So it makes you. They're not. There's no whitewashing here.
Yeah.
Basically, they're keeping it real.
The diversity. This is what we need.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, did you hear about this? Netflix. All right. Okay. Now, here's a couple of things. Netflix are losing some big shows. All right, and most notably the Marvel stuff. They'll be kind of like moving on to the Disney Plus streaming service and whatnot. So people are probably thinking, damn, man, you know what? That's probably like, a kick in the teeth. They're going to be a chunk of their subscribers or something. No. What Netflix are doing, and I read about this and I was like, shit, they are pumping a lot of money into this. They are going to be making, right, ladies and gentlemen, check this out. They're going to be making 90 movies a year, which is crazy because you're probably thinking, 90 movies, but they could be shit. Half of them could be shit. But check this out. 90 movies a year with budgets up to 200 million. 200 million, man.
That's big bucks.
That's mass.
That's big bucks.
That's massive, man.
And that actually takes us on to one of our later reviews, Bird Box, which I saw last night.
Oh, did you see it?
And yeah, this just cements what you just said.
Right.
Netflix are not ramping. They're not messing around. Lots of movies, some small budgets, some big budgets, but they're going to be putting it out there.
Yeah.
If you are an actress, trying to get into the game, it looks like the next few years you're going to have something to work on. So, get your auditions up.
Get into Netflix.
I might even start doing it myself,
exactly.
mate.
Bloody hell, me too. I can't act for shit, but flipping hell, man. I'm sure there's going to be like a job for a cab driver, Indian cab driver somewhere. Flipping hell, man. Hello.
You can be like that guy that's in what's his name? He was in Fear the Walking Dead and that, and he's either like a Latino guy, he's a Middle East guy. You can put him in so many different roles. He can speak different languages as well, so you'd be alright, man. Honestly.
And also, I'm still holding out. We're still holding out for this diverse superhero.
Oh.
What was the name that we said?
What's this again?
Gamgee. No, what was it?
Oh my gosh! What the
the Indian
gosh.
African superhero story. Netflix can do it.
It's true, Let's make it happen.
But you know what? Okay, just quickly on the Netflix thing. Netflix, they do not publish viewership numbers.
Oh, is it?
No, they do not. So you will never know exactly how many people were watched, how many people watched, for example, Daredevil, how many people watched like Jessica Jones and stuff like that. So it's just something that they don't do. And then it just makes me think, right, okay, so there's something behind it. How do they know, what's working, what's not working? I don't know.
I guess they know. They want the public to know. But I guess, they know exactly because of the way their system works. It's so in tune.
Yeah,
and they get the stats straight away compared to obviously box office and so on. But they get the stats, and that will definitely, I guess, inform the future products that they produce.
Yeah. Okay, now you've thrown out some facts and figures there. Tell us what's this?
It relates to that as well, and it's basically that the box office compared to online like takings.
Yeah.
So they're saying that next year in 2019, online revenues will be 46 million. Was it billion?
It looks probably billion.
Yeah, about $46 billion. And compared to $40 billion in box office.
Yeah.
So they're saying that online revenues are going to top box office by 40 billion. Sorry, by 6 billion.
Yeah.
So that's very much showing a difference in viewership, I guess, styles and people's ways of taking in media. A lot of times these days, people want to stay at home, and watch online
and chill.
I think the process in which people want to watch films has changed. People don't always want to go out to the cinema. For certain films, you want to go to the cinema, big movies, big screen. But the relationship with media now has changed. So the viewing figures, these are predicted, by the way, so it may not be the case, but 46 to 40 billion online.
And also, just on that, TV screens are in the house. I'm talking about TV screens are getting bigger, mate. You can get like 100-inch televisions now. Like, I'm not joking. It's like you could have like a TV in your room, 5-6 people come
Yeah.
over, watch a movie, and it'll be like that cinema kind of feeling. Obviously, you're not going to get IMAX level. Christopher Nolan, he makes like IMAX movies and things like that. So those event films, you're never going to beat. But it's catching up.
Exactly. Interesting to see.
Yeah. Now, Keanu Reeves, we've spoken about Keanu Reeves on this show before. He's done a lot of stuff and obviously famous for Bill and Ted's The Matrix. He's done a lot of martial arts. He's done other martial arts movies. John Wick, which is
part 3 coming out soon, I think. Yeah.
Massive movies. Now, I heard this. I kind of wanted to quickly mention it. You haven't seen Toy Story yet, have you?
No. I ain't seen a single one.
No, you haven't. And I came to the whole Toy Story party late anyway. So these films have been going on for a really, really long time. But Toy Story 4 is going to be coming out, and they have roped in none other than Keanu Reeves to voice one of the characters. I don't know what he's going to be doing. You know, it could be action type. You know, I can imagine that. You know, he does martial arts or something like that. You never know. So that's going to be interesting. But also, I saw this picture as well. Now, tell us about this thing that's going on online.
Yeah, so he's basically keen. He's expressed a keenness. Not sure what's going to happen.
Yeah,
but he's expressed a keenness to play either Wolverine or the Batman.
Now I can see him do. I could see him playing a version of the Wolverine.
Yeah, his beard and stuff. He's quite gruffy,
and with that cigar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know if he's got the. I don't know. There's something about Wolverine having the grit and the mood and the kind of like the badassery. Yeah. Keanu Reeves seems like he's quite polite. Yeah, and he is in real life from what I understand.
Yeah, from what I understand as well. Yeah.
But yeah, I can see him playing a Wolverine type guy. You know. Also, I can see him as a Batman. I think I probably see his demeanor fitting into more of a Batman demeanor more than Wolverine. But you never know. But he said he wants to do it. Who knows? Let's see what happens.
Bulk up and it's this thing with Daniel Craig. Was it Daniel Craig? No, sorry. Christian Bale.
Okay, yeah.
Like, he was in this film called The Machinist.
Oh man, he was skinny in that, isn't it?
Seriously, to the point where you see his ribs and all that stuff. And then he had to bulk up massively to do Batman. So, you know what? When you got the best dietitians and the best nutritionists and the best trainers, bro, man, you can do it. Seriously.
Damn. Well, let's see. Let's watch his space.
Yeah. All right. Okay. And finally, now this caught my eye. It's kind of, it's in a way in which is kind of, I don't know whether to laugh or whether to what is my emotion over here. But apparently, a poacher, I don't know where this was.
I think it's Missouri in America. I could be wrong with the states, but it's definitely America.
Right, so a poacher in America was forced to watch, now check this out folks, was forced to watch Bambi to try and see the error of his ways. Yeah. Now, what is going on over here, Deval? What's going on?
It's a madness. And when I first saw the headline, I thought, what is going on here? I got to read more into this.
Exactly.
So basically, a poacher who was responsible for, they basically monitored him for, I think, over about a year's period. And they found out basically that he'd been poaching for over a year, in which he was killing deers and obviously, selling them as trophies, which is very bad. Yeah. And he was caught, he was arrested, him and 2 other people. And he's in prison now. He's been imprisoned. So his jail sentence or prison sentence is for 1 year. And for that 1 year, from what's being told, is that he will be watching Bambi. I don't think it's actually that bad, He's actually watching Bambi once a month.
I mean,
for the year, that's only 12 times.
I know.
And if he gets released early on good behaviour, that's nothing.
It's nothing.
I thought it'd be at least like every day or a week, but once a month is nothing. I think that's actually not
a walk in the park.
I do understand. I do like the fact that they've introduced this.
Yeah.
Because Bambi was 1920 something, I think.
Yeah.
Disney, and it's a really lovely story about the Bambi, which is a baby deer.
Yeah.
But one of the saddest moments in the film is when Bambi's mum is killed by a hunter. Yeah. And you get that's something that Disney doesn't really show that kind of portray that kind of hurt and sadness, but they do. And I think the prison system or whoever the judge is has said, this person needs to see this from a point of view that is the most basic. And I get the idea, but I think it's too lenient. I think the person should be watching it every single day until it drives them crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. crazy.
That is the way it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, had their eyes like forced open.
Yeah, like
you
in
know?
A Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, just watching Bambi. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Right, okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is your movie lot, your movie news. Let us move on to the box office top 10. And sitting in, oh God, I can't believe it's still in the top 10 though. It's done terrible. This film has done really
It's still
poor.
there.
Yeah, it's at number 10, but they spent so much money on this movie and it's only brought in, according to the figures, 2.6 million. This is a Robin Hood at number 10. Now, make of that what you will, folks. I mean, people got bored. They switched off. They let's have a look. Let us have a look at what is at number 8. Okay. This is a film that you watched.
Sorry to bother you. Yep,
Yeah.
still there, number 8. I'm glad to see it there. I thought it was gonna leave by this time, but it's still hanging in there. And I think maybe word of mouth has helped this film to survive. But you know,
Actually, sorry. You know what? I just totally missed number 9.
I know you did. I just thought you were missing it on purpose.
Sorry, I
That's
just
all right.
totally missed that. Sorry, folks. Number 9 was Event Cinema Nutcracker,
Yeah.
right? And then number 8 was Sorry to Bother You.
Yep. So yeah. Again, like I said, it's a great film. Not going to do well in the box office, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it should be much higher.
It should be. In at number 7 is The Old Man and the Gun. I didn't get a chance to watch this one. I'm not sure if you did either.
No, I didn't. I'm not going to as well.
Okay. If anyone has seen it, let us know. I haven't seen number 6, which is Nativity Rocks.
Nope.
No.
Neither have I. Not gonna.
I saw number 5, which is Bohemian.
I still need to see it.
Yeah,
I
it's
still
good.
need to see it.
It's worth a watch, mate. It's worth a watch, and it's still in the top 10. I can't believe it's still in the top 10. So number 5 is Bohemian Rhapsody, which is great. Number 4 is Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. I haven't seen this. I haven't seen the one before, or I fell asleep with the one before. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get to watch this. Creed 2 is at number 3, which we watched, and we loved it. There's a nice little bit at the end with no, there's not. So that was like number 3. And I read a review somewhere, and I kind of agree with it. It was that they thought it was a really good film. It was more of a Rocky film than a Creed film. Do you get that analysis?
I guess I can see where they're going with it, because obviously you got Drago in there and stuff like that,
and you got the whole thing of winning, losing, and winning.
Yeah,
which is typical of like Rocky films. Like, I get that, but I still think that there's more heart in this film than a typical Rocky film.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So go out and watch it if you haven't seen it. Number 2, which is The Grinch, and it's taken a lot of money. Kids are going to be watching it. They're off on holiday now, so I'm sure that'll probably move up a bit. And the UK's number 1 film is Ralph Breaks the Internet. Wreck-It Ralph.
You sure did.
Yep.
Great film.
And yeah, you saw that. And if you want to listen to our review of that, go check out last week's episode. Okay, now, so what do we have out on Blu-ray?
We've got quite a few, I'm going to sort of whiz through them, not going to too much on these ones. But yeah, first of all, we've got the Black Klansman, which came out, I think, in April. Good film, actually. Really I think I saw it twice in the cinema.
Yeah, liked it.
Good film. Then we've got The Spy Who Dumped Me.
I saw this one, and it was, and
I didn't see it.
Yeah, the thing is, it's the title is a misnomer, because it's called The Spy Who Dumped Me, but she's the one who dumps him.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
that's bullshit.
Exactly.
Okay.
So forget that one.
Yeah. And then the next film I saw this in cinema.
Slender
went
Man.
to go see it, and Slender Man. I was like, nah.
Yeah.
This film didn't scare me. It was too slender. It needed more meat.
Needed more meat on that
more
one.
meat. Yeah.
And the build up to this film was big.
Yeah.
And I basically I didn't watch it after this.
Don't waste your time, man.
Yeah. And then we've got Yardi, which I saw, it's Idris Elba's directorial debut. Interesting story, based on a book, which was really big in the 90s. And, it's Idris doing his thing, and it's like, shining a light on a period in British, culture, history. And, I guess probably some of this stuff probably still goes on, but it's interesting to see that take on it.
Yeah.
And it's got good acting.
Yeah, good film. Yeah, good film. Next one, Happy Time Murders. I don't know. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
I don't know what can be happy about murders. Having a happy time doing them. I don't know. It's meant to be some sort of joke on a real sort of life series of events. I think.
You know
some
what?
sort of serial killer, is it, or something like that?
No, it's the not Fraggle Rock. What's the
Muppets?
The Muppets.
Yeah,
it's basically the Muppets, but X-rated.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, where they're swearing. There's a lot of, apparently, the reason why this caught my eye was, I didn't see it, but it caught my eye because it's the Muppets, like, on, like, drugs, basically.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Is it Melissa McCarthy in it as well?
Melissa McCarthy, yeah. So if you love your Muppets and you want to see a bit of kind of R-rated. Now, Black 47, I didn't see this, but you did, right?
I didn't see it as well, but it's out. And from what I hear, it's a good film, you know?
Okay.
It's about an Irish soldier, or an Irish person who goes to fight for the British Army. He understands back in Ireland there's a massive famine, so he goes back home to Ireland, and he leaves his post, goes back home, and realizes that shit has hit the fan at home, and he's literally, his family are, like, one of his family members are dead, and they're just like starving, and it's crazy, and he needs to fight basically to save what's left of his family.
Yeah.
And I hear it's quite grim, this film. So yeah, Black 47 is supposed to be an all right film, actually.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Wicked. So ladies and gentlemen, go check those movies out if you haven't. Let us know what you think. Now, what have we got that's new on streaming or on trailers?
So Christmas Day, new on Netflix, we have the one and only Avengers Infinity War.
Had to happen.
Exactly. So that's going to be a massive one. That's going to get streamed to death over Christmas.
Yeah.
And then on Hulu, we have Ironman 2.
Wow. It's like, there's a lot of this kind of, because I think Netflix have got Iron Man on there, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
It's just kind of another way for Disney to kind of push it out.
Yeah.
Marvel, one of their products.
Exactly. And then Netflix, as we're going to speak later on, Bird Box has come out this week.
Yeah.
So go watch that. We'll talk about it a bit later.
Yep, okay.
On Amazon, Hereditary. That comes out Christmas Day, I believe.
Yep, I'm going to give this a second viewing.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm going to watch this. Cool. I'm going to watch this one again. So, I can't wait. I want to. There's going to be things in it that I probably didn't pick up the first time.
Oh, yeah, there will.
So, I'll watch this one again.
For sure. And then for trailers now, first trailer we have is Hellboy.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Hellboy trailer?
I have not seen
this.
It's
all right, you know. It's all right. I must say, it kind of looks like it's a lot more, there's a lot more comedy that sort of looks like they've introduced into it.
Right, okay.
Yes, it has its dark tone as obviously Hellboy and monsters and stuff like that.
It's got it, yeah.
But the comedy's there, man. There's a scene where they go into this place. I think it's like their base or something like that. And for anyone that watches EastEnders, Mo from EastEnders, who's actually Gary Oldman's sister.
Oh.
She's like there on reception or something, and she's letting off shotgun.
Really?
It's crazy. And it's like, you can just see there's comedy in this film.
Okay.
He's part of the crew. I think they're part of the paranormal investigation unit or something like that. And it just looks funny. And also the villain is going to be our friend from Resident Evil and the upcoming Monster Hunter, Mila Jovovich.
Oh,
had to get a name in.
Had to get in.
Yes, Mila Jovovich.
And David Harbour, who's the new Hellboy.
Yeah.
How does he? What's
he looks
he like?
alright. Yeah, it doesn't look much different to
your friend Ron Perlman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They look similar. Big trench coat, chest out. He's got his big gun with like 6 golden bullets or whatever it is. He's got his big hand. He looks like Hellboy. Okay. And the world looks, it's mostly in London actually.
Oh,
yeah, it's mostly in London or maybe Europe, I don't know. But yeah, a lot of the cast, from what I see, have got London accents or British accents.
British accents, yeah.
Yeah, it looks interesting. And like I say, there's a lot of comedy in there. Lots of the monsters and stuff. From what I understand is that the premise is on the old King Arthur type story. So I believe Hellboy is somehow related to the King Arthur.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the King Arthur story. And he is obviously, his lineage is the sword and the stone type thing.
Yeah.
And I think there's some sort of weapon that maybe only he can wield because he's got the bloodline. And Mila Jojovich's character is like England's most powerful witch.
Yeah.
She's the big bad.
Right.
So it's going to be somehow them against her. She's going to have her witchcraft powers. She's going to be able to conjure up monsters.
Yeah.
And he's got to try and fight them. And
yeah.
he's got his crew. She's got her crew and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to see
gonna be good.
how they clash. But yeah, it looks good. I must say the trailer looks fun.
Okay,
it
I'm
looks
gonna watch
fun.
this.
Looks fun.
All right, so that's good. And a film that we spoke about not too long ago, actually. This is Thor and Valkyrie teaming up for Men in Black.
Men in Black International. Yeah, so this trailer again looks like a whole load of fun. I'm not sure if you've seen it yet.
I've not seen it. I'm
watch them
saving it.
Watch them all at the same time. You have a lot of fun. But so the trailer looks like Thor is like, he's basically also just to say this carries on from all the other Men in Blacks. It's not a reboot.
Right.
So within the trailer, you'll see the fact that Will Smith and Josh Brolin and what's his name, Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones. You can see that they were all part of the history.
Okay.
And this just sort of carries on. So Liam Neeson's in it as well.
Oh.
So I think Liam Neeson's like the senior Men in Black person.
Right. Okay.
You got Thor, Chris Hemsworth, who is almost like the Will Smith type character, I think, but he's got a bit more experience.
Right.
And then Tessa Thompson, she sort of comes into it from like a conspiracy theorist type person. So she's been looking for the Men in Black for like 20 years, she says. She finds them and earns her way into the black suit.
Wow.
You know, so she earns that and becomes obviously Chris Hemsworth's partner. They're going around doing their thing.
Yeah.
It shows a few of sort of gadgets they use. It shows that same little gun Will Smith had.
Okay, yeah.
And it shows the same red button in the car that makes the car go crazy. There's a few things that it sort of makes sure that you get that it's a continuation.
Right.
There's a few
it's like nods
similarities,
to
exactly. And there's one part of the trailer that's really funny towards the end of the trailer, really funny. Where it's funny actually. Chris Hemsworth, when he's got this hammer in his hand.
Oh, God.
It's like a little hammer.
Yeah.
And he throws it at this creature and the creature catches it and he's like, oh, good catch. There's like they're basically
in joke.
of Thor.
Of Thor.
And
Wicked.
it's basically a direct copycat of the scene where he throws his hammer to Hela and she catches it and then destroys the hammer. Same sort of scene like
Wicked.
that. So I'm not sure if they maybe asked Marvel for permission or whatever. I'm not sure.
I mean, if you got Chris Hemsworth, I mean, you're gonna
you gotta make fun of that.
Exactly.
So trailer looks fun. Looks like a lot of fun. So that's out in, I believe, June. Next year. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we've got a bit of time for that left.
Yeah.
And talking to Will Smith.
Yes, Aladdin.
He is back.
So for this one, I've seen the teaser trailer.
Yes.
And the teaser trailer sort of, I guess, just teases a lot of it's audio rather than visual, but it teases obviously Aladdin, Jafar as like a ominous, baddie in it. And then obviously the Princess Jasmine as well.
Yes.
So I think those are the main characters you sort of see or hear. But then there's some pictures that have come out about that shows Princess Jasmine, Aladdin, and the genie, Will Smith. And he's got his sort of genie beard.
Right.
He's got the genie hair.
Yeah.
And he's not blue.
Okay.
So then there was a bit of controversy about that. And then he came out and said, "Don't worry, I'm going to be blue." He's going to be blue.
Oh, he's going to be blue.
He is going to be blue.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So he's going to be looking a bit like an avatar.
Okay.
A little bit, or Smurf.
Because I thought they would have just gone with
like normal skin.
Yeah.
Kind of. Nah, he's going to be blue.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, he's going to be blue. So. Yeah, so that's out again in summer. Not sure when it is.
Yeah,
but it's
that's going to be a big
summer.
film.
Yeah, so we've not seen the full trailer yet, but I can imagine that's not going to be too far away.
That'll be coming. So. There's one TV show that I want to kind of highlight, and I want you to check out the trailer for. This is a TV show which is coming out in America, and it'll be bought over here by Sky or something like that. It's called Godfather of Harlem.
Oh yeah.
Stars Forrest Whitaker.
Okay.
And it's a TV show. And, do you remember the film with Denzel Washington and Russell Crowe with the gangsters? Was it?
I think I remember. I've not seen the
directed by
film.
Ridley Scott.
Oh, I think I know what film we're talking about. Don't know the title, but...
All right, well, this Godfather of Harlem, stars Forrest Whitaker, and he plays it's based on a true story, and he plays a crime boss called Bumpy Johnson. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Bumpy Johnson. Check this out, right? So this is set in the 50s and 60s. So you've got a character like Bumpy Johnson, this gangster from Harlem, but also featuring in this TV show is Malcolm X.
Oh,
yeah. So it's a kind of a political. You got the political aspect of having Malcolm X in here. You've got this crime kind of. I mean, I'm trying to remember what that film was. Gangster Number One? No, that doesn't. That's not it.
I'll find it for you soon.
Yeah, find it for me whilst I'm like babbling on over here. But basically, it's an American dream idea where
American Gangster.
American Gangster.
Oh, okay, yeah, of course. Yeah.
So it's cross between like say Malcolm X and American Gangster.
Okay.
So you got those two worlds, and I just saw it, and I saw the kind of like some behind the scenes, and it looks really interesting. I just thought, when this comes out, it's going to have the political angle to it. It's going to have the whole thing about the race. It's going to have like, in America, you have this American dream about getting rich and, taking what's yours. But at the same side of that, you have the kind of political side of like, you got to fight for what's right. You got to do things in the correct way. You got to stand up and believe in what you believe in.
Yeah.
So these two worlds, the criminal world and the political world, Malcolm X and this Bumpy Johnson guy, I think it's going to be good. And it's called The Godfather of Harlem. Now, who is the Godfather? Is it Malcolm X? Is it Bumpy? Who knows? But I guess we'll find out.
We sure will find out.
So yeah, that's what's coming up.
Nice one. Cool.
All right. So now, Anniversary Corner, ladies and gentlemen. And just to let you know, in case you already don't, this is a section of the show where we bring you 5 movies which are 30 years old, 25, 20, 15, and 10 years. All right. And we think that they're great movies that you should go out and watch. And the anniversary is coming up. So go check them out again if you haven't. Now, I mean, what can we say about this?
What can we say? Last week we had Dark Knight, 10 years.
This week,
Ironman.
Oh, yes.
Exactly. I actually saw a bit of this film last night, actually.
Yeah.
It was on TV and I saw
what has it aged well?
It has aged well, yeah. It has aged very well. And the graphics? The graphics have aged very well.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? And I'll always remember the final scene, the end scene, which I love. Oh,
with
man.
the Ironmonger, you mean? Or which end? Oh, you mean the end credits?
The end, where he's like, hey, you're probably wondering, like, whether or not I'm Iron Man. And he looks down and goes, I am Iron Man. I love that. And then it just stops. If you haven't seen it, ladies and gentlemen, where the hell have you been hiding?
10 years.
10 years it's been.
Great film. The story as well. I mean, the actual story as well is quite a good story. Obviously, he nearly dies, finds himself in a cave, fights his way out of there, advances what the robot he made in the cave. He's, dramatically improves on it, finds a reason to become and to fight for something that he believes in. Yeah. And then he has to overcome an enemy and announce himself to the world. Yeah. And obviously we get announced that this is more than just him. Yeah. Nick Fury comes at the end of it and says Avengers, and then people are going crazy.
Madness.
Imagine, I can't even remember when it, like, that feeling when you first heard Avengers, are like, oh shit. Oh shit. I mean, it was good enough, just Iron Man, but oh shit, you're giving us Avengers too.
And you got to give them props for bringing up a character, because Iron Man wasn't like the huge, like, the big character that, Spider-Man, like, some of the other guys. So they've taken this person, and also probably because they had the rights to this, that they could bring him to the film. They brought him to the screen. It was a massive hit, a massive gamble.
Massive gamble, because at the time Robert Downey Jr. was not long out of his rehab and prison and stuff like that, and it was a big gamble, because it could have just, if that didn't work, the Marvel Cinematic Universe wouldn't be the same. Yeah. And again, Jon Favreau directed it, who's on to really good stuff at the moment. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you're right. You're definitely right on that one.
And this kick-started what we're seeing, like phase 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4.
Yeah, yeah.
This is it. All right, I mean, we could go on for ages on this. Now, okay, a film from 15 years ago. Now, do you remember this one?
Do you know what?
You haven't seen it, have you?
I haven't seen it all the way through.
Okay, bits and bobs.
I've seen bits and bobs when I've been forced to watch it.
No, I included this one because obviously it's Christmas.
Oh, is it a Christmas film?
It's a Christmas film.
Oh, yeah,
it's a
yeah,
Christmas
yeah.
movie as well.
I
And
swear everyone's in this film, isn't it?
you know what?
The Walking Dead guy's in it. Liam Neeson's in it. The Beast is in it.
Beast is in
The
it.
young Beast.
Exactly. The guy from Game of Thrones.
What guy?
You know, the kid from is it Joe? No, what's his name? You know, he goes off with Bran Stark and they go off
Yeah.
and they see they go off on their little journey.
What kid? You mean Bran Stark, the one that's in like the wheelchair type thing.
Yeah, and then there's another kid with them and a girl.
Oh yes, you mean Halon Reed, or whatever his name is. Yeah,
that's him. He's the
he's
kid.
okay. Oh yes, yeah, okay.
He's in this as well.
Halon Reed, I think he's a Reed. Yeah, he's the one that. Yeah.
He's got a power of some sort of
Yeah,
gift as well to control the
he
animal.
He can. Was it warg?
Warg.
He can
He's a
warg, isn't
warg.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes, okay.
Right, he's in this film as well.
He was in Harry Potter as well, was he?
I think so,
Something
possibly. So many people in this movie, and it's Love Actually, and a lot.
we should mention the name, shouldn't we?
Yeah, we should mention the name. But I included this because I looked at it and I thought, what? It's already been 15 years, and they show this film every single time.
Do they?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
seriously, they show it all the time. I've just got to say one thing. There's one scene in here which, whenever this film comes on, I have to watch this scene, right? So it's got Hugh Grant plays the Prime Minister, and he's at number 10 Downing Street, and there's this song. It's I can't remember the name of the song. It's some girl band song comes on. He thinks he's all alone in the house, and he starts dancing, and the dance that he pulls up is the only type of dance that a white middle class guy could ever pull off. It's so cheesy, so cringy, and there's someone watching him all the way through, right? And the way he just stops dancing when he finds out when he's been rumbled, it's the funniest bit in the film. You've got to watch it just for that. But also because, you know what? It's Christmas. Why not? All right, so that was 2003. That was Love Actually. Now, this movie is a cult classic.
Have you watched this film?
You know what? Should I tell you something? I'm still trying to get hold of the bloody damn movie.
Okay. I tried to watch it once and it boggled my mind. I'm not going to lie.
It's so crazy.
It's about a guy who
finds
he's quite alone now, and he finds an equation or something, or some sort of
the meaning of life.
Yeah. And I think through that, the film's called Pi.
Yeah, sorry, it's called Pi. Yeah.
P.I.
Yeah.
Came out in 1998. Black and white, isn't it, I think?
Yeah, I think so. And as soon as I started kind of reading up on this, I was like, damn, I want to watch this.
Yeah.
And you know what? I had a look on Netflix, I had a look on Amazon, I had a look on all these things, right? Listen, it's not on there. And I'm not sure even if it's on Google Play, I'm not sure.
Is it? Okay. I'm sure I can find it if it needs to be found.
Yeah, defo. Yeah, of course.
My birdies to find it.
Yeah, so that's Pi at 20 years. And So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Yes.
Now, is this Kim Basinger?
No, it's what film are you referring to? You're thinking of okay. Anyway, this film is Michael Myers.
Oh, okay, right.
That's where he meets someone, he falls in love with her, introduces her to his parents, and it turns out she's the sort of the serial killer that everyone's been looking for, an axe murderer. And if he finds out when it's too late, he's married her. Yeah, but it's not Kim Basinger.
Okay.
I think the film you're talking about is the one with. Oh man, my head's gone crazy now. Yeah. But it's the one where she's with is she an alien or something like that?
Yeah. My mum is an alien or something.
I don't know. Okay, I think you're thinking of a different film. But yeah, it's in that sort of era. I think it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I Married an Axe Murderer, 25 years old, Mike Myers.
Wow, Mike Myers, man.
Like 1993. When did the first Austin Powers come out? Was that 97?
Yeah, round about the time. I know. And then
time is flying, man.
And this Wayne's World must have been around about the same time.
Yeah,
Wayne's World.
Yeah, you're right.
He was most recently in Bohemian Rhapsody.
Was he in it?
He's really funny.
Okay.
He plays a record producer in Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay.
And he's quite funny.
Okay.
Again, British accent. He does it all really well.
Does he sound a bit Austin Powersy though?
No, not really, no. But he's got some good one-liners in there.
He's a bit of a nut. Remember when he came?
Crazy.
He showed up in Inglourious Bastards. I was like, what's
That
he doing
was
there?
it. Yeah, he was in Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So that was 25 years ago. And this one, you're going to have to jug. I haven't got a clue.
I haven't got a clue too. Well, I've got a bit of a clue. I put
Okay.
it on here for a reason, actually.
Yeah.
Because in the cinemas during Christmas, or just after Christmas, I think, there's going to be a film with Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. The Sherlock Holmes
Sherlock
one.
Holmes
yeah,
one.
Holmes and Watson, I think it's called. Is that what it's called?
Is this a...
This is like a Sherlock Holmes film.
Right,
so
okay.
without a clue, it stars our old East Ender. What's his name? Michael Caine.
Oh.
Michael Caine and Ben Kingsley.
Right,
And
right.
it's basically, the film's about basically everyone thinks Sherlock Holmes is the mastermind when really he's not. It's
He's
Watson.
just an idiot.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's Watson. So basically they find what happens to Sherlock Holmes? I think does he go missing? Or basically he finds out that Sherlock Holmes doesn't know what he's talking about. So they find someone who's an actor that can play Sherlock Holmes and pretend he knows what he's talking about. But really, it's Watson who's solving all the mysteries and who is the mastermind behind, the reputation that Sherlock Holmes has carved out for himself.
Right.
But really and truly, Sherlock Holmes is without a clue. And Sherlock Holmes is played by Michael Caine.
My name is Michael Caine.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and that ties in with the whole kind of Sherlock Holmes thing
Yes,
coming
that's
out
why
in
I put it
cinema
on
right
there.
now.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to rewind a bit, Pi is directed by Darren Aronofsky.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mother.
Mother recently, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
So it's kind of a bit of a mind shag.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so ladies and gentlemen, that is Anniversary Corner. Some really good films in there. Go check them out. And now let's have a look at film reviews. Now we've got quite a few to get through over here.
Yeah, we've got a few. 4 films, actually. I might glean over one of them.
Now, let's start off with this one film because I'm quite eager to speak about this film. Now, I haven't been, or I'm not a massive fan of the film Transformers.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. I think they let me down like so many times. For the first one, there's individual bits in there which I can say, that looks visually stunning, and that bit was really funny, and that bit was really cool. But on the whole, I would leave the cinema and I would be like, oh gosh, man, no. So when I saw the trailer for Bumblebee, I was like, you know what? I haven't got high expectations. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to watch it because, you know what? I'm going to get let down, and, that is what I was expecting. So, to my surprise, I walked out of this cinema and I walked out with a massive smile on my face, man.
Oh, yeah?
I really, really, really liked it. And I got to say one thing. I liked the kind of the bits where it was, where they had the action, the fight scenes. I thought, that was interesting. I thought that was quite good as well. And normally with all that stuff that's going on, I'm like, oh God, sometimes it can look a bit boring. However, I'm telling you, man, I'm giving this film a flipping thumbs up because I just loved everything about it. I think her name is Hayley Steinfeld, I think her name is.
Okay.
I thought she was brilliant in this. It's like kind of like a coming of age. Like, she's got a chip on her shoulder. She's upset with everyone. She's pissed off with her mum. And, she kind of feels like as if she doesn't fit in this world. And then, lo and behold, she comes across a transformer.
Yep.
And then they strike up this relationship, and they become really, really close. And you know what? I just thought this reminds me of kind of like the 80s, like John Hughes films.
Okay.
Where, there's a lot of teen angst. There's a lot of kind of anger towards people around you. There's anger towards the world around you. And, she strikes up this friendship, and I thought, you know what? This is brilliant. The scenes that they had together, they were funny, where she's trying to teach him how to kind of hide. And, there was a lot of kind of comical moments in there. And it needed to be funny when it was funny. It had the action set pieces when it needed to be, actiony. It had Angela Bassett. She played one of the Decepticons.
Is it?
She played one of the Decepticons.
Oh, I know which one she was. Yeah,
She was
the main bad lady.
And
one.
I just thought that was like really, really cool. And it's got a bit of a love interest in there, but that wasn't the focus. It wasn't like, oh, girl has to find love. No, not at all.
I think it passed a Bechdel test.
Exactly. It's about girl finding her way in life and about being strong and being this. Being a strong woman, a strong girl, and kind of like, taking charge of what's going on. John Cena, I thought he was like way over the top, but he actually did provide the comic elements, and I thought he was quite funny.
At points he was,
He was, yeah.
He's getting to be a really good actor,
You know what?
actually.
His trajectory now, I think it's going to be kind of like on the way of The Rock.
You got to watch him in Blockers.
I've heard
Blockers is really good.
Only good stuff about that.
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that about the trajectory in The Rock, because recently he issued a public apology to The Rock, John Cena.
What? Why?
Because back in the day, I think he blasted The Rock's sort of jump from wrestling to acting.
Right.
He sort of blasted it a bit, and he's actually publicly apologised now to say...
Because now he knows.
Yeah, he understands what it takes, how hard it is and stuff. So I think now he respects it a bit more, maybe.
Yeah.
So it's funny you say that, actually. But he actually apologised.
But I mean, so there's a lot of stuff in this film. So people who love the Transformers movie, I think they will enjoy a lot of this sort of stuff. Bumblebee is a character, really, really loved. And, the whole thing about losing his voice, because remember we saw that in Transformers 1, the first one.
Yeah.
So then now we get to find out how he loses his voice box and how he's able to communicate using the radio.
Yeah.
You find out how he jumps from... how he ends up in a yellow Camaro as well, which I thought that ties in with the whole kind of Transformers universe. So there was a lot of stuff going in, but I particularly like the stuff where she's just finding her feet, where she's trying to, there's a bit of sadness in her life where something happened, with her dad, and she's trying to reconcile with that as well.
Okay.
You know what? I got to say, I really, really enjoyed it.
Oh. Yeah.
Shoot, what do you think?
No, I have to agree. I did. My expectations were just like, okay, whatever. Let's see what happens. But I did enjoy the intimacy behind sort of Bumblebee and the lead character, and just how they found themselves, how she found herself as a person, because she's coming of age. I think she's like 16 or something like that.
Yeah.
She's got her issues with maybe her work and school and stuff like that, bullies and all that kind of thing. And then Bumblebee as well. He's also trying to find himself.
Yeah.
So they're both trying to find themselves. But also I did like a lot, actually, even though it's quite a small bit, but I did like a lot the section that we got from Cybertron, because we hardly see Cybertron.
Yeah.
So we got to see a bit of Cybertron in the beginning days and see where it fits into the chronology of Transformers.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, how is this going to work with what we've seen so far? And it does fit in. And no spoilers, but from beginning to end, you'll see why this Bumblebee looks the way it is, and why in the sort of 2007 version it looks that way. But it does fit in, which I think was a nice touch. But yeah, no, I do. Yeah, I did like it. There's a lot of comedic elements from the family, her little brother, the parents as well, because obviously she's I think her dad passed away, and then the mum has found a new partner. She's not really gelling with him, but he's trying to do his best, and it shows that sort of dichotomy. But just it's just and Bumblebee is just a kid, basically, compared to the other Transformers, and his mental age almost fits hers, because she asks him to do simple things and he doesn't really do it properly because he doesn't really know what's going on. But yeah, it's a nice film, nice touching film, and the graphics were good. I like the fact that Bumblebee didn't look too shiny.
No,
he looked like the finish was like a matte finish. So it made it look a bit more realistic.
Sure.
Because in reality, cars aren't always clean.
No.
And with this robot running around, jumping around all the time, it should never be clean.
It's going to get like scratches and whatnot.
Exactly. So one thing I would say though, Bumblebee, I think is a bit tougher than maybe what he should be.
Right,
He can take a
okay.
lot of licks.
Yeah, he does, and he takes licks in this
Yeah,
movie.
and it's like Bumblebee isn't the toughest Transformer. I mean,
No.
how's it he's surviving, taking all these licks,
Yeah.
proper hard, full-on licks, and he's still all right.
I know.
And other Transformers, they get ripped apart from just one lick.
Yeah,
It's not fair. Obviously, he's the star, so he can't die,
Exactly.
can he?
But what does this mean for? Will they? Because obviously this is kind of like a spin-off.
it's standalone, isn't it?
Yeah.
but
What, do you reckon there could be another one of these
from what I
Transformers?
understand, there is actually one in the works.
Oh, okay.
There is one in the works that is a follow-on from what we've seen already. From what I understand, yeah. So I think they can continue to do spin-offs. I mean, how much can they do without making it seem a bit unrealistic?
Yeah.
Because this was in 1980 something, wasn't it?
Yeah. You're right.
And between then and 2007, when they first were introduced,
Yeah.
who knows? Will it be in another country? That might be interesting.
Yeah.
Different spin on it. Could it be another planet? He used to say it doesn't always have to be Earth. There could
Yeah.
be Transformers type situations happening other planets where they
Yeah.
look a bit humanoid, but it could be like where the Nova Corps,
Yeah.
like they look humanoid, so
Yeah.
they just got different futuristic tech, but that could work maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows? So who knows? I mean, they could take it all kinds of directions, and from the looks of the box office takings, they're going to want to make another one.
Of course. For
They're going to
sure.
want their money.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're going to want their money. So yeah, I reckon another film is going to come out.
Yeah.
So
There's
yeah.
mileage basically in this.
There is, yeah. There is.
All right, so
So-
ladies and gents, yeah, go out and watch it.
Go
Enjoy
out
it.
and watch it. I think I'll give it maybe a 7.
Yeah.
Give it a safe 7, I reckon, for me.
Yeah.
For Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said before, I mean, I walked away smiling and I thought, what a surprise.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Bumblebee, ladies and gents. Now, Deval, you've seen this next film.
I saw this film, yeah. So
And
we
for
spoke
me,
about it a while ago because we were talking about obviously
Titles.
the titles. We've seen the exorcism of Emily Rose.
the,
we saw
the taking of Deborah.
Deborah Logan,
Gosh.
the possession of Michael King, and then obviously the possession or the exorcism of Babangida. And
Babangida, that is it.
exorcism of Babangida.
Exactly. That's the
And-
one that we want to see.
we want to see that one.
But this one is, just remind everyone, what is this one called again?
It's the haunting of Hannah Grace.
God, it's like your next, that could be your next door neighbor.
Yeah, exactly. And so I saw this film in the cinema. The premise is basically Hannah Grace has been possessed by a demon,
Yeah.
and she's exorcised. Should I give a spoiler or not? Semi-spoilers. So she's exorcised, and she dies basically
Right.
in the exorcism, and her body is sent to a morgue, or is it a morgue? Where they do the post-mortem?
Yeah,
kind
morgue,
of.
yeah.
Is that it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And in this morgue, you have a young police officer who has actually experienced some trauma in her role as a police officer. She lost her partner. Because of that, she wants to just work by herself,
Right.
isolate herself, not go on the beat, and work. She's got a background in medicine, so she can do post-mortems. So she wants to work night shift, just be by herself, and just she's a bit, I think, suffering from a bit of depression as well.
Right.
So she works in this mortuary, and the bodies come in at night. She deals with them, tags them, bags them, and that's it.
Yeah.
So on one night, Hannah Grace's body comes in, and then it all goes tits up from there. It all goes tits up from there. Hannah Grace's body comes in, and all these weird happenings start to happen.
Yeah.
Lights start turning off, shadows.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But
Oh,
this
man.
film does take the supernatural element a bit too far.
Right. Okay.
Because things start to happen, and you think, no, this is not supernatural anymore. This
Right.
is just a bit stupid.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, just without spoiling it too much, it's different when things happen that are just like supernatural spirits and stuff, but when bodies and stuff start to move and walk around, it's a bit like, come on, man.
Zombified,
Yeah, exactly.
like,
Yeah, exactly. So it takes it to another level that I think it didn't need to.
Right.
So the scares, mostly jump scares and things like that, which, in some places are okay, but the film doesn't give you anything that you haven't seen before,
Right. Okay.
and you won't really remember it. I slept like a baby afterwards. I wasn't that scared.
Yeah.
Wasn't that scared. It wasn't a long film. It's under an hour and a half,
Okay.
including credits.
Including credits.
So I think
okay.
as an actual film, it's about an hour and 20 minutes.
Right.
But yeah, it just wasn't, for me, it wasn't a great film. Hannah Grace, like, she just, I don't know. I mean, she wasn't that, it wasn't all that.
It wasn't all that,
I would say don't rush to the cinema.
Yeah.
I'll probably give it a 4.
Okay.
4 out of 10.
And in terms of kind of like, the other, like the Emily Roses and the Takings, like, it's not up there, is it?
It doesn't, nowhere up there.
No.
Don't even speak Emily Rose in the same sentence as this, honestly.
Okay.
Emily Rose, I won't watch again.
Okay.
Hannah Grace, I won't watch again, but for 2 different reasons.
Yeah, totally.
One is I'm shit scared of it.
Yeah.
Emily Rose. Hannah Grace, I ain't got time to waste.
No, exactly.
So I ain't watching it again.
All right, no, that's good. That's good. All right, okay. Now you kind of like mentioned this earlier on when we were speaking about what's coming out on streaming, and you mentioned we mentioned about Netflix pumping millions and millions into big budget movies.
Yeah.
A new film has just landed on Netflix, and I saw this come up on the when you look
suggestion,
on the suggestion thing, it's come up, and I was like, right, okay,
Yeah.
I've saved that in my list to watch later.
Yeah.
But tell us about Bird Box.
Bird Box. We first spoke about Bird Box a few weeks ago now. And at that time I thought, okay, December 21st, that's a while away.
Yeah.
December is here.
It's here upon us.
It came out. I actually forgot. And then I was going through Netflix and it was there. I was like, oh, wow. I was looking for something else. Saw this and thought, do you know what? I'm watching it now.
Yeah.
I watched it. I'm not going to spoil it because Netflix is accessible for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are going to watch this. I don't want to spoil anything about it.
Sure.
I'm going to give you a rough, review on this one. But Bird Box, for me, definite thumbs up from the get-go.
Oh, really?
Good film.
Okay.
Sandra Bullock. It's also got the guy from Get Out. The sort of the security guard.
Oh, okay, yeah. Is he doing the comedic element in this as well?
Yeah, I would say yeah.
Okay.
I would say yeah. John Malkovich is in it as well. It's got the 50 Cent lookalike that was in Predators.
Predators,
and it was also in Moonlight as well.
Yeah.
It's also got, who else has it got? Yeah, I didn't know this, but it's got a rapper called Machine Gun Kelly. He's a rapper that has some beef with Eminem, but I didn't recognize him.
Okay.
But he's in it as well. Who else has it got? I think they're the main players that I recognize and people recognize. All the other actors are obviously good in their own respect and they do a good job.
Yeah.
But Sandra Bullock is the main star in this one. And actually, it's also got the lady from... she's going to be in Glass. She's going to be the psychologist in Glass.
I know who you're talking about. She
was also in
12 Years a
American
Slave.
Haunting.
Yeah.
Was she in 12 Years? Oh,
She played Michael Fassbender's wife.
Okay, cool. Okay, yeah. So she's in it as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, this film, the premise basically, without spoiling too much, is that it's a little bit like The Happening. M. Night Shyamalan's Happening.
Yeah.
Something happens in the world and people are killing themselves.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Now, have we seen this premise before? Like, apart from The Happening? Like,
I've not, no.
No?
I've not,
Okay.
no. This is a worldwide, epidemic.
Right.
Shit's going down. People are killing themselves in the most random way. And it's like, whoa. It's like crazy. This is a end game type scenario. Yeah.
Right.
So Sandra Bullock and her merry crew have to deal with this and try and survive. And to make it even harder, there's children involved, and it is crazy. It's all based in America, but from the news stories and so on, it's happened in Russia, it's happened in Europe. Well, Russia's in Europe, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it's happened all over the world basically. So they're feeling lonely because they can't get help. Everyone else is going through the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's scary times. But yeah, the acting's really great. The premise is really good as well, and how you come about to want to kill yourself is very interesting.
Oh.
It's very interesting. Yeah. It's very interesting.
So I take it the thing, the disease or whatever it is, it hasn't got to her yet. Or she's immune to it.
You'd have to wait and see. But I guess, to answer your question, it hasn't, because she's obviously the star
of the film.
But I'm not going to say whether it does get to her or not.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like, and talking about immunity, it's a weird one, but there's a small handful of people that I'm not sure if you can call them immune,
right?
But for some reason they don't kill themselves.
Okay,
I don't know why, but you'll find out, hopefully.
Right. Okay.
I
And in
could be
terms
lying
of
to you
like,
as well.
yeah, I know. And like, you know, like what we said about the budget. Is this like one of those? Is it a big budget or is it kind of like? Does it feel small? Like, is there a lot of graphics?
Yeah, it's like they're quite clever in how they spend the budget. There are a few scenes that you can tell they had to spend money for.
Right.
Apart from that, I wouldn't say it would have been a massive like 200 million.
Sure.
Obviously, she's going to get her paid because she's a big actress,
Hollywood actress. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good. Yeah, there's certain scenes that are just based in a house, for example, for quite a lot of the time. So budget control there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a lot of the time when shit hits the fan,
Yeah.
and you start to see the magnitude of things, the budget is spent on that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a very interesting premise.
Yeah.
It does remind me a lot of The Happening,
Okay.
but in a different way.
Totally different way.
A different
'Cause
way.
That film bombed.
It did bump. Do you know what? I actually didn't. I didn't mind it.
I didn't mind it. To be honest with you, a lot of people slated that film.
Yeah,
I thought
think some of the
fun.
acting was a bit funny or something, and they felt it was a bit slapstick, and
Yeah.
they felt that the punch wasn't really
Yeah.
landed.
Yeah.
But I think the intentions were there.
Yeah.
But also, I think The Happening more so for me, I see as not a possibility, but in some kind of way.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, come on now, the Earth, Mother Earth, Gaia, yeah, Mother Earth has to protect
Itself. Herself.
exactly.
Yeah.
And what on earth is the main, like, if you have a virus or bacteria, if you're feeling sick, what do?
Yeah. You've basically your antibiotics. They fight.
exactly.
They fight it.
Either you take it. Well, some people you take medicine to try and get rid of it. But yeah, you're right. Your antibodies will fight off the disease and get rid of it.
Yeah.
Now think of the Earth as being a living body. What is the most deadly disease of Earth?
We are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We are.
You are. Yeah.
So yeah, my farts. I'm telling you, man.
Killers,
My farts are
killers.
just CO2 levels of the methane flipping heck. I'm telling you, man. But yes, you're right. We are killing the Earth.
Yeah.
So if the Earth was to ever rebel against us, or not rebel, sorry, protect itself against us,
We're getting taken out.
exactly. And what's the most efficient way of doing it?
Yeah, you just wipe them out.
Exactly. So if The Happening did it through like it was like the vegetation,
Yeah.
like the plants released something in the air,
In the air, right?
that made you want to kill yourself, and that's so efficient.
I know.
That's so efficient. We all got to breathe. We all need oxygen or whatever it is. You know, the nitrogen in the air. I'm not going to get scientific. Don't worry.
Yeah, flipping out. I'm waiting for
I'm not
it.
going to get scientific.
I'm
but-
waiting for it.
No, but we all need that to breathe. So we can't do without it. So that's the most efficient way. And it's not even like nature had to kill you. Nature made you kill yourself. That's even more efficient.
Yeah.
More efficient. So for me, The Happening, the premise is actually very, very clever.
Yeah.
This film takes it to another level.
Right.
Slightly different way.
Yeah.
But same outcome.
Is there a happy ending at the end of this?
There's an interesting ending. Interesting ending.
Okay. Here's one question. I just want to quickly ask you this. What is the appeal for someone like Sandra Bullock, who is this, like, she's an Oscar winner. I think she's an Oscar winner.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's an Oscar winner. So what is the appeal for her to do a film like this for Netflix, like, millions of people will get to watch it,
Yeah.
but it's not the big screen? Like, what is the appeal?
I think for her it's win-win. I mean, for her, she's going with going with the times, basically, the people's habits, viewing habits, and people, like, if her agent came to her and said, "Hello, Sandra, by the way, I've got the projections for the next year, and it looks like next year it's going to be $46 billion of revenue, online content, compared to $40 billion revenue per box office."
Where's this agent from?
Me being your agent, I would recommend you dip into the box office. Sorry, you dip into the online revenue, because that's where the money is. And I think if you want to get your full exposure, keep your exposure high, I'll say do some online content.
Yeah.
So, like, he's probably going to recommend her to do some online as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
'Cause someone like her can do both.
Do both. Big screen. And
Exactly.
Remember, she was in, Ocean's 8.
Ocean's 8. Yeah, exactly.
And she was that actress was with her as well in that.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's a win-win. She gets her exposure,
She gets the
continued
do-re-mi.
exposure, gets her do-re-mi, exactly. Who knows if maybe the scheduling maybe shorter.
Right.
I don't know. So it's a win-win.
Yeah.
She's basically making sure she's basically on both platforms So she's dipping her toe into the platform that's maybe going to do the best and just run with that one. But yeah, a lot of them are doing it. Henry Cavill's going to be on Amazon on the Witcher.
On The Witcher.
So, you know.
Yeah. All right, brilliant. Okay, so
yeah,
that's
I did give it a 7.5.
All right, yeah.
7.5, I think I give it.
Yeah, that's on my watch list.
7.5, I reckon. Not an 8, 7.5, yeah.
And I think like for someone like Paul Phoenix as well, this will be a film that he'll end up
like
watching
it.
as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Paul Phoenix, you'll like it.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, okay, so that was Bird Box. Now, here's a film that I quickly want to mention. I managed to watch this film on a, you know, you get those kind of, those pre-screenings.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Advanced, pre.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
It was an advanced screening, and this film was actually not out until the 11th of January.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So I thought to myself, all right, you know what? I like the story. I like the actors who are playing the lead characters. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go out and watch this. So I'm talking about Stan and Ollie.
Okay.
And someone kind of like asked me, they said, oh, is it a biopic of Laurel and Hardy? And I said, well, yes and no, because, you know, like a biopic, you would kind of start from the beginning and then you would work your way through from, okay, so this is how the person started off and this is how, you know, the journey that they went on. And it is kind of like that, where the film starts off with Laurel and Hardy. So it's set in the 1930s, 1937 to be specific, and they are at the top of their game.
Okay.
So about in 1937, so just before the Second World War, you know what? Silent movies. You had like obviously Charlie Chaplin, Harold Lloyd, Buster Keaton, and you had these two, Laurel and Hardy. Laurel from England, went over to America, you know, 20 years before that, and Hardy is from like Missouri, I think he was. And they got put together, and then all of a sudden, you know what? They just became a massive, massive big hit in the 30s. So, and as the film starts, you kind of get to you straight away you pick up the dynamic of who's kind of like, you know, the brains and no, sorry, I wouldn't say brains, but you know, who's kind of a bit more savvy. Laurel, played by Steve Coogan, he's kind of kind of a bit more savvy, where he wants a better deal for Laurel and Hardy. And there's this discussion about them, look, let's break away from this film producer and let's go make our own movies. And then there's Hardy, who's like, hey, come on, you know, Stan, let's not rock the boat. We've got a good thing going on here. And Stan's like, well, look, you know what? We can make much more money if we go ahead and we do our own thing. We don't have to be tied to this producer. So there's kind of like this little bit of a tension that starts the movie off. All right. Then the film fades to black, and then we see Laurel and Hardy 16 years later.
What?
16 years later.
Okay.
Now, you got to think to yourself, 16 years later. So this is
what's happened.
So yeah, exactly what has happened. So this now. So the film takes, picks up in 1952 or 1953. Laurel and Hardy are now basically they're in the twilight years. They're coming to the end of their career now. They're older. They're tired. They, you know, maybe they don't have money. It's alluded to in the movie that Hardy has a gambling problem.
Oh.
So a lot of the money that he probably earned over the years, he probably flushed it away. And, you know, Laurel, he's desperate to get a movie made. And the only way for them to get a movie made is if they go on tour. They come to England, they do a tour of England and Ireland, and that'll be their way for them to kind of make this big Hollywood last picture that they want to make. And I tell you what, right, I saw the movie, I watched it, I came away, and I felt, number one, I'm glad, like, I watched the film. That was number one.
Okay.
Number two, I felt sad because of, you know, this kind of bygone era that's gone. We're never going to ever see those films. And there's a bit at the end of the movie where they show the actual footage of Laurel and Hardy.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, there is a bit of kind of like movie magic in what they're doing. For you and I, we see it and we're you know, a lot of people were thinking, oh, what is this shit? This is like, but there's something special about what they're doing. You know, their own stunts, you know, their own gags. They wrote everything. They worked like, you know, hours, 15, 20 hours a day just to kind of get their stuff ready. And you know what, the acting from Steve Coogan and John C. Reilly, I just thought were phenomenal, man. Really great acting. And have you seen any Laurel and Hardy movies? Do you remember Laurel and Hardy?
I remember them, but I can't remember their movies clearly.
Yeah, I don't remember the movies clearly, but there's certain things that you do remember. Like, you know, when he used to do the thing with his hair?
Yeah, okay,
do you remember that?
I think so, yeah.
And then the thing where, like, oh, another fine mess you've got us into.
Yeah.
Like, so they do all that stuff.
Okay.
And you know what? It's absolutely brilliant. There's a lot of heart in the movie. There's sadness because they kind of fell out. Laurel and Hardy fell out. And they're doing this because... You know, it's kind of this last...
Was it a true story? They really fell out, yeah?
Yeah, you from the movie, you kind of figure out that because Hardy then kind of didn't want to move away, then they lost kind of like a lot of money, and then, you know, they were in a bit of a limbo, and they were coming to the end, and then they had to take They had to take these gigs, small little gigs in England where there was only about 20, 30 people.
Oh,
so you imagine from the heyday, from the 30s, where you had people like watching the movies, like packed out shows, they were getting invited to parties, you know, where there's other famous people there, lots of women around them. And now they're in flipping Hull doing a show where it's like, where's everyone? Where's all the people? And it's like, it's kind of like this fall from grace, you know? They're at the end of their career, they've got to do this, and there are some really genuinely funny bits in there, and there's a bit in there where there's some unsaid things, you know? There's things which are where Stan is kind of upset with Hardy, and then it all comes out at one point when they start kind of like, they fight with each other. And I just thought it was really, really well handled. So if you are looking for a movie which is different to obviously some of the stuff that you've already seen before, you know, go give it a chance, give it a watch, and watch Steve Coogan. I think he's brilliant. He does what he does with Stan's kind of work. He makes it his own. Hardy is what's his name? John C. Reilly is brilliant as Hardy.
He's in 2 films, and this and the Holmes one.
Sherlock Holmes. I think it's definitely worth a watch. It might not be something that you're kind of like, you know, that you would generally go out and watch, but for something that will give you a reminder of what it was to make films back in those days, I think it's brilliant. And you know what? It's Laurel and Hardy. So yeah.
Sure is.
So that is it, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a film review. So we've got the hidden gems now.
Yeah, hidden gems, and we've got one here.
Just one.
Yeah, we've got one here, and it's one that we've spoken about. We've alluded to.
Yeah, we have. Yeah,
several kind of times before, but it is now. Some people I've spoken to have said this is like a horror film because. It could be your worst nightmare.
Oh yeah.
This is kind of like, you know, your worst nightmare, and then it's like, this could be like a horror, psychological horror. Although there isn't like gore and there isn't the kind of the spooks, it's a different type of a horror. Now, it's a film that was made back in 2005. I read about this film and I was like, you know what? I got to go out and watch it, or I had to go out and buy the DVD on like Region 1 or something like that. And then I watched it, and it stars Patrick Wilson, who's in Aquaman, Conjuring, all that sort of stuff. And it's got Ellen Page.
Yeah. Also, it's got Sandra Oh, who we spoke about, who was in Killing Eve.
Killing Eve.
Yeah, she's in it.
In one of the doctor programs.
That's right. Yeah. Grey's Anatomy, I think it is.
Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, and you know what? This film has a cast of 5 or 6 people in the whole film.
Yeah. I don't remember there being
like there's kind 2 other people that are in the film.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
But this film is so intimate. It's hardly anyone there.
Now, this film poses this question, all right? Okay, it's quite a difficult subject matter actually for a lot of people. But imagine, ladies and gentlemen, how would you basically describe it? A child molester is released from prison, and he just basically wants to go out and live his life. He has made a mistake, and some people would say, okay, you know what? He deserves a second chance in society. He's done his time, and you know, he repents. But then there's a whole host of people, another part of society which would be thinking, you know what, this guy should never be forgotten. And you know what, he should be reminded of the thing that he did or the things that he has done for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And this film clearly, it takes a stance of, right, okay, we are going to make this person's life a living hell. So Ellen Page, you could say, is the tormentor in this film,
Yeah.
right? And turns the tables around the one who used to torment, like, you know, you could say. And it's called Hard Candy.
Oh yeah, we should say the name.
Yeah, I always keep bloody forgetting to say the name. So, so 2005, Hard Candy. And, whoa, man, what a ride. Like, wouldn't you say, what a ride? I mean, what can you say about this movie?
It's one of those movies that, one, I think should be watched either by yourself or someone who's very, very like-minded and will really get it and not be talking during the film. Sunday sort of morning, afternoon viewing, perfect. But yeah, it's quite an intimate film. Like I said, there's hardly any characters in the film, mainly Ellen Page and Patrick Wilson. And you don't really realise what's happening until it's happened.
Yeah.
Because throughout the film, it's just like a curious sort of teacher-student relationship type thing going on. And you kind of think, it's not at the forefront of your mind, but you're sort of always thinking, what's going on here? Like, why are they so, what's going on in this relationship? Or how's this going to turn out? And hard candy is actually a term used within the, within that world of paedophiles.
Right.
It's basically a trap. Okay. But hard candy is a term for a trap because it's candy, but it's hard. Like if you bite it, you break a tooth, sort of thing. So
sure.
It's almost used as a term of a trap in that sense. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I just liked the film. I liked it. I came across it years ago, watched it randomly, and I just remember it being such a really well made, really well directed film as well.
Yeah.
And well acted film that it just stuck with me. And when you mentioned it a few weeks ago, I thought, yeah, this is a hidden gem. Why have I not mentioned it before?
Yeah.
It's a hidden gem because many people wouldn't know this film. And
not at all.
They'll know the actors, but they won't know the film because it's not the sort of film that will, the budget wouldn't be massive and box office and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it needs to be seen. I'm pretty sure in certain circles, this film is shown.
Yeah.
Social workers and stuff like that. I'm sure they've seen this film.
I remember watching it and I kind of really felt uneasy because I was like, damn it, man, what the hell is going on over here? And it's like, she comes across as being vulnerable at first, and then I'm like, yes, the table is going to be turned. And you know what? When you watch, obviously, Patrick Wilson, and he's a brilliant actor, and like, you know what, you're repulsed. You're like, you know what, you want to get this guy and you want to kill him, and like, you want to do the things that Ellen Page is doing to him. So, there's definitely that kind of revenge element of the, of the film. But here's a question, and this is a question that I think the film poses: is can someone repent? Can someone kind of, should we forgive people like this? And when they say, look, I'm not like that anymore. I'm not like that anymore. Because I remember he pleads. He's like, look, that's not me. I've changed. I'm not like that anymore. Now, do you believe that, or are you the type of person who's like, no, you'll never change. You're never going to change. Those types of sexual predators, they never have those kind of, they'll always have that. And it throws up that argument, right?
It's a tough one.
What do you do?
It's really tough because anything to do with like kids and that sort of thing, it's a really touchy, delicate subject because you're right. I mean, first of all, people deserve a chance to change, to repent, to improve themselves. But there's certain sections of the society that believe once you do that, you're unfixable. You're damned.
Yeah.
And that goes against, I guess, the legal system and the rehabilitation system and stuff like that. But I mean, it's one of those things that if you've been touched by it, you're of a different mindset. Yeah. So I've luckily, touched wood, I've not. So I'm talking from a mindset of hope and all that sort of thing. And but yeah, it's a tricky one. And there's hardly a right or wrong answer in it because every situation is on its own merit. But the film, it does play with those concepts and makes you question it yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
What would you do in that situation? Would you give a person another chance, or would you be like, you know what, I'm gonna go through with this because I deep down inside my heart, I think, you know what, you should be punished for what you've done. You know, it throws all those questions up. But just kind of want to quickly mention, it was actually co-written as well by Ellen Page and Patrick Wilson.
was it? Okay.
Yeah, and it was directed by David Slade. David Slade, he directed a Twilight movie, I think, and I mean, he's a British director, and yeah, I mean, I think this is the film that, you know, brought him prominence. So, you know, he became famous after kind of like Hard Candy. But I just thought, what a film, what acting from Ellen Page, and you know what? It's a tough subject matter. So imagine writing this and then planning those scenes out. What you're going to do, how you're going to do it. And the fact that you just mentioned to me there's only like about 5 or 6 people, it just makes it that much more intimate and scary as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is definitely a hidden gem. Not a lot of people have seen this. But we think you should go out and watch it.
Definitely.
Get it on DVD, stream it or whatever you can do. Go out and watch it and let us know what you think.
I think currently it's on Amazon, I think. But if you can't find it, let us know.
Yes.
Yeah. But yes, so that I think brings us to the end of episode 30. 30, yeah? 30.
Sí, 30.
30. I was in 30.
Because 20, it sounds kind of similar, doesn't it, right?
Episode 30. So yeah, 30 weeks of this.
30 weeks of this.
So yeah, and again, the Christmas edition. So happy Christmas to you guys.
Yep.
Hope you're enjoying it. Eat yourselves full. Have fun.
Get stuffed.
Exactly.
and
yes, cinema giveaway.
Yeah.
Oh, damn! I was meant to change it this week, but I forgot. Okay, we'll just do a standard cinema giveaway this week.
Yeah.
So yes, if you can put in, basically, you have to be a follower of our Instagram or Facebook or whatever it may be, YouTube, and on that platform, you just have to mention episode 30, getting stuffed.
Brilliant.
Yeah, episode 30, getting stuffed. And we will send you the cinema code for any View or Cineworld Cinema in the UK only, unfortunately, at this stage. And yeah, thank you very much for listening to the show.
Yeah, see you in the new year.
See you in the new year. Peace out.